Hi, my name is Zoe the Psychic. Today we're going to talk about the compatibility between a Leo Virgo cusp and a Pisces. You both need to be careful not to lose yourselves in this relationship. Your individuality must be preserved, no matter how into each other you are. You're always trying to test the limits of your relationship. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. You and I. But you both value your freedom. You both spend a lot of time doing very eccentric things and living it up and spicing up your lives. And you really do your best to keep things spicy and eccentric and stimulating and exciting. But the problems start happening when you start getting too needy or too clingy. That is why you have to be able to vouch for yourself and really defend your beliefs when you're with a Pisces. You have to figure out what connects you. What do you have in common with your Pisces? The way your Pisces seems to get you, or at least try to get you, is really nice. It can become annoying after a while, though. Fear is unfortunately a common factor for this couple. They like to float through life and not always with a direction or a goal. It just really reminds me of that song, Just the Two of Us. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, just like you guys are smooth sailing. You guys are just together and everything's fine and you don't really have to think about where you're going. But it can also make it hard for you to follow a path with your Pisces. You're often adrenaline junkies, always looking for that rush. Pisces tends to be your muse. They motivate you, they inspire you. You both hate convention, you hate being basic, you hate just being ordinary. Ugh, yucky, ew, ew, ew. You don't want to do basic couple stuff. And you don't try to hide it. You always want to make each other feel like they are the one. The one. And you really try to make each other feel loved and adored. This bond is so one of a kind. So one of a kind. Every single moment with them is special. Remember to appreciate that. You both talk about doing your own thing and not conforming. But you have to make that a reality and not just talk about that. You need to actually solve your issues if you want this to work out. Don't just agree to disagree. You gotta figure your shit out, you know? Figure that shit out together. Your Pisces is a breath of fresh air. They influence you on so many levels. This is such a unique couple, especially because of how much you both reflect on your journey together. You get deep with them. Your Pisces likes all your opinions and feels stimulated whenever they're around you. Look, not everyone's going to get your relationship. You're a polarizing couple. But that doesn't mean that your Pisces isn't meant to be with you in the long term. You have different thought processes, which can make things very tricky. And this can be a struggle as time goes on with your Pisces. Transparency is very important with your Pisces. You need a backbone if you're going to survive this relationship. The stronger your backbone, the easier it will be for you to get along in the long term and to last a really long time. Own your uniqueness and individuality with a Pisces. Transparency is very important with your Pisces. It's okay to be who you are when you're with them. Oh, your Pisces can be broody and they like to take their time, and you are so much quicker to act most of the time. Like, they're still feeling things through, but you are more decisive. You're more of an action taker. And I feel like you form your opinions much more strongly. That's a thing with the Leo Virgo cusps. And while that may seem nice, like a nice balance, it's very complicated in the long run. And it can become too complicated sometimes for you to go the extra mile with them, you know? It can be unpleasant. Your Pisces knows how to guilt trip you like a pro. They could teach a university class on guilt tripping. They know how to make you feel terrible for something. Sometimes it's hard for you to both make up your minds as a couple. It's like you get more indecisive when you're together. You're often really torn as a couple, but your relationship can survive all sorts of situations, private ones and social ones. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy, especially when you get married. You will find yourselves wanting to walk away and surrender so many times. There are times when you just want to stop trying altogether with this relationship and just leave your Pisces. because of the impact of the negativity from the outside world. Like, it's a lot. And you're like, do I really feel like it's worth it to just be here and deal with this? Like I said, you're a very polarizing couple. Not everyone's going to like you, okay? Not everyone's going to be on board with you, and everyone seems to have their own judgments about your relationship. This can make the tough times seem tougher. It can make you question where things are going. It's not easy for this couple to be consistent. There is a lot of instability. You might struggle with deepening your connection, not because you feel trapped, but more because you feel scared to bog them down or to just be there with them. And the sooner you realize that, the better. You are fully capable of living your best life with a Pisces. You will find that escaping from the relationship just doesn't work. You're going to need to face things with your Pisces. You both seem to be on very different timelines. Just when you're ready for something new, they have already moved on. They're not into it anymore. And it's like you are never fully on the same timeline, like the same time, and it just feels like there are different wavelengths, you know, like just when you are about to do something different, they've already done it or they're not interested anymore. And it takes you both very different times to process something. Like, you probably can get over something way quicker than they can because, like I said, they have to feel things through. It's not very structured for them, right? They don't really like these restraints. Like time is man-made, you know? Time is not something that the universe created. It's something that we came up with and we added these numbers to. We created time, okay? So Pisces is not about that. And it feels like you guys are on just completely different schedules sometimes. And actually, your schedules are likely to be very different when you date. And that may be frustrating. Your connection is spiritual. This is a soulmate connection. You both care about each other as human beings, but there is so much more out there that is really bonding you together. You actually both tend to fight your feelings for each other. And that can take up a lot of your energy, and that can make things even harder for you. Your Pisces might feel like you don't really learn from your mistakes. You both want to be your own people and be super independent. You can start to see your relationship as a threat to that independence. And that's why you tend to sabotage it or try to resist it. You don't want to get carried away. You don't want to lose yourselves in this relationship. But if you're not careful, you will lose yourself in this relationship. Make love, not war. You may need to give up some of your personal freedoms for the relationship. That is normal. You're one of the most unreasonable matches in the Zodiac. I mean it. Like, you guys don't make sense. Your logic may not be logicking. It may not be logical. It's like your relationship is an alternate reality. Ooh, it reminds me of that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Is that the name of it? Yeah. I don't know if you have seen that or not, but it is so good. And it reminds me of that, of how, you know, there are different versions of you in different parts of the universe. And it's like your relationship is on its own plane of existence. You can't seem to see it as it is. It's time to get real on what your relationship actually is. That movie is a very Pisces movie. It feels very out there, right? It's very Neptunian. This need to escape our lives, this need to, you know, dream up alternate realities and just like live differently, be different. Things that you do don't make sense in other areas of your life. Like, I don't even know how to do it, but it's all connected, okay? Instead of fighting against each other, start fighting for each other. Don't run away when things get tough. This is likely a karmic relationship. You knew each other in a past life. It's important to let loose when you're with them. No need to be tied down, because if you let it, this can be such a satisfying relationship. Your Pisces is the missing piece to your love puzzle. Not only are your timelines out of alignment, your moods tend to be out of alignment as well. This can cause a lot of tension. It can make things awkward. Maybe if you didn't feel like the rest of the world was against your relationship, it might go smoother. It's hard to want to stay in something when it feels like so much is against you. Your Pisces likes to fantasize and they like to have their head in the clouds. And that actually may get on your nerves because of the nature of your cusp. You're both so afraid of being tied to one another, it can make it hard to even get married. And actually deciding whether to commit or not can be scary. You both tend to avoid confrontation and you often act like nothing's wrong. As friends, you tend to share at least one weird hobby, or you have odd moments. Your friendship is eccentric. You may not be very good at respecting your Pisces' privacy, and Pisces might feel like it's hopeless with you because it's hard to not want to give up. It's hard to stay. You might barge in on your Pisces only to realize that they want their alone time. You might even feel like you keep interrupting them. Your love is flighty and unreliable. Your Pisces will need a lot of support when they marry you. They tend to give a lot of themselves to their spouse, but they may not feel like you're there for them as much. They can end up mothering you or trying to take care of you. You'll know if things are working out with your Pisces if things feel easy and not one-sided. Are you both putting in 50-50? As friends, you might go way back with your Pisces, but that doesn't mean you see each other all the time. You can go really long periods without seeing each other at all, and then when you do see each other, it's kind of like old times. It's like no time has passed at all. You complement each other. You both tend to be artistic and think outside the box. What you have is one of a kind. Your Pisces can be so loving and they give so much to you, and you can feel guilty that you're not always able to meet them there, that you're not always able to give them the same amount back. You might even tell yourself that they deserve better. You tend to move around a lot as a couple. You also tend to travel as a couple, so that's something to look forward to. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you were born on the cusp of Leo and Virgo, or you are a Pisces, please comment below. Let me know what your story is. Do you agree with me? Do you have any stories you'd like to share? Like, are you divorced from a Pisces? Were you married to a Leo Virgo cusp? Are you married to a Leo Virgo cusp? Did you have a great experience with one? Is your best friend a Pisces? I want to know what your story is. And also subscribe to my channel, help support this channel. I'm so excited to see where it goes. And book a reading with me if you'd like to learn more. You can book a reading on zoethepsychic.com. I offer a lot of different types of readings and astrology readings, so check that out. Bye-bye. Bye.